Get ready for a rowdy night of country music on the Quincy Riverfront July 18th at the Gym City Concert Series at Lincoln Park, featuring Gavin Adcock,
Since you don't know how to act, run your mouth, don't look back.
Graham Barham,
Tonight I'm counting on you, whiskey.
and DJ Cliffy D. Get your tickets now at GymCityConcerts.com. The Gym City Concert Series with Gavin Adcock, July 18th, presented by On the Rail Sports Bar and Grill, Peachtree Entertainment, and Coyote Country 99.5 WCOY.
Hello.
Ladies,
Hello, Bob.
how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Still sporting the Americana. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because on the 4th of July, I had this wonderful experience.
The diamond.
The Diamond.
Yeah.
The baseball park, the whole 9 yards.
It was rough.
How was it?
Oh, they got smoked. It was terrible. The
I
Cubs
mean,
hit,
yeah.
I watched Major League history. The Cubs hit 8 home runs.
Dang.
8!
All right. Way to
And the
go,
Cardinals
guys.
got crushed. But I was there with my bride, so it was a great day. But apparently I was supposed to be in Quincy.
You were.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Well, right off the bat.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I mean,
He wanted it. He wanted a roast too.
the fact that somebody took
Who shall
umbrage-
remain nameless
I
unless
don't-
you watch
I
our
don't even
coffee
know, I
talk.
don't even know who. No, I think this was somebody else besides him who
Oh, okay.
made this thing that I can't believe you went and wrote a story on about somebody's anniversary on the 4th of July or
Oh, yeah.
something. It was my anniversary. It was a trip I went to on the 4th of July and drank beer and saw a big flag and said the Star Spangled Banner and sang America the Beautiful and all the other stuff. And I did all the. What is more American than going to a baseball game, even in Chicago, that place that everybody down here hates? And if we didn't have Chicago, we'd be Nebraska, as somebody told me the other day.
Anyway, so, I mean, of course, the argument to that is, yes, you were doing something that was very important, and
Yeah.
you did, you do your job every day, and
Yeah.
there's a
It's-
time and a place for everything, and maybe we miss a couple things.
And the
but-
whole thing was, yes, okay. Was there any? It's a wonderful event. It is a great event. I'm not, but again, remember, there's a couple of things. Number one, it's a holiday, and I like to give my people days off on holidays. Did you have something special? Was Ted Cruz coming to speak? Were you doing something? Today they said they were nonpartisan. I was going to say like
they
Dick
don't have
Durbin.
any-
I was going to say Dick Durbin, but we know that wasn't going to happen. But did anybody come speak? I mean, again, it's a wonderful event. As far as newsworthiness, it's a wonderful event. I mean, and I was just like floored by all the, where were you? And now you guys did a great job of hammering back at it, and I appreciate it. And I usually don't like dipping my toe in this crap, but this argument was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beyond. I mean, all the stuff we try to do, all the good work we try to do and covering stories that nobody else will cover, like Denman, who will do all these other things that we try to do on a daily basis. And we have this great team, and
But it's a small team.
it's a
Yeah.
small team. It's growing, though. It'll be
Yeah.
growing here soon. Got a couple more people coming on. Really excited to talk about that
Yeah.
in the not-too-distant future. But it's apparently we didn't cover this one community event. And
let's put the
we're
brakes on for a
Satan.
second. So we're talking about Freedom Fest,
Yes.
which of course is a phenomenal event that people work really hard to put together. And of course, we wish that we could be everywhere all the time.
Didn't you guys do the dunk tank one year for it or something?
I did.
Yeah.
So we've done stuff for
And
it.
I've attended. I mean,
We always attend too.
When
Yeah.
asked. And that's the thing.
Well,
as you guys so correctly pointed out.
Well, we need to have the press release formally. That's a formal thing. And then if you want to have promotion further for an event like a non-for-profit event, call me and I can lead you in the right direction. And like I said, I think we pump up events better than anyone. It's
No doubt about
probably
it.
the most
No doubt about
reasonable
it.
price because we support local
Yeah.
and we want you to support local
And even
back.
if there's no price to it, we got no money out of Tom Sawyer Days, but we know it's a big event. And the Hannibal JCs were very proactive in sending us stuff.
Yeah.
Glad to do it. Now we do have an advertising arrangement with the Mark Twain Boyhood Home, so we do some stuff for them. Glad to do it. And again, you've asked Mark Schneider. It's not like we're charging him an arm and a leg. And again, we want to be proactive. We want, when we do our morning show, we're like, hey, we list all this great stuff going
Yeah.
on this weekend,
Yeah.
every weekend, to get off your butt and go do something.
Sure.
Don't say, nothing's going on, there's nothing to do, because there's something to do.
Right, all the
You want
time.
to get off your butt, you can go find something to do. And we push the heck out of that every Friday.
Yeah,
Brittany,
and that
Brittany
was-
puts this rundown together with all the good stuff.
Yeah,
she does
she
this
works
great
her butt
job
off.
of putting this show
Yeah.
together, and we spend the time reviewing what we talked about, what happened during the week, and what's going to happen this weekend that you can go do. And we want to promote those events, and we feel that's far more important than us showing up and then like coming back and writing a story or showing up.
The aftermath.
Yeah.
I think promotion is better. Like,
Don't you want us to tell people about your event and get
Yeah.
people there, as opposed to like if we didn't say anything about it and then nobody showed up and then we went and like, oh, where is everybody? Well, we didn't promote it. Dumb. Just
Yeah.
come on, guys.
I think this was, and this could be my perception, but I think this was to further some kind of, narrative that we are not an unbiased news source and that we covered
Yes.
these things, but not this one.
Yeah,
So it
it
was
was
made
why-
to kind of paint
Yeah.
this picture that we are turning into a liberal news source, which if you look at things and you get your facts together, which is what we were talking about on Coffee Talk, you'll see that that's just not the case. And to use something like this, which in my mind not only kind of diminishes what Muddy River News does, which is why we took it so personally and are taking it personally, but it also kind of creates more of a division in Quincy,
the
which
entire
is
divide.
so the opposite of unbiased. So
Yeah.
for you to paint us one way while furthering a narrative that pushes you further to the right,
Yeah.
right? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I think if everyone
Especially if you're coming out and saying this is not a political event, period.
Right. Well, and I do appreciate, what was his name?
Jim Fisher.
Jim Fisher wrote,
yeah.
wrote a letter. As
I
soon as he
appreciate
wrote it,
that.
I posted it.
And I think it is really important that people understand that because I was under the impression that maybe it was kind of a further conservative leaning event because it is organized by some folks on the Tea Party. That is not the case. So I'm glad that
Its
he
own
clered that up.
501c3 or whatever.
It is a
Yeah.
separate event. Yeah.
So I'm glad that he wrote in to clear up some things, but that's how it's done, folks. We always talk about the way to get things accomplished. Posting a shitty message on Facebook to try and get something accomplished or a message across probably isn't the way to do it, as we've seen now with Mr. Adkins.
Yeah.
You will get called to the table on it because we do, like I said, we do take it personally. This is all very personal to us, and we do our best to make sure that we are promoting Quincy as a whole. So don't come at us with something, disrespectfully.
Okay, so I think Mr. Mike Adkins might have came off, he was actually probably really hot that weekend. He volunteered down at the event, driving
tractor.
the tractor for
Yeah.
5 hours straight while it was
Hard
super
work.
hot. And, I could see you being hot coming off of this event because you dedicated your time. So with that, I want to say I understand, but I don't agree. And then secondly, back to what she was saying with the divide and people saying we're liberal, blah, blah, blah. One thing, in case you didn't catch Coffee Talk, that a point that I really want to bring across is we live in the state of Illinois. We cover Illinois State and Missouri State news. We can't control the discussion that is happening in Illinois. We can't control what the legislators say in Illinois news. And I know it's not what downstate wants to hear, but if it's something that you don't want to hear so much, is it like, do you want us to just stop reporting state news? Because
Yeah.
at this point, that's what it's sounding like. And I don't
And
think
it's
that's...
not
That
in the
doesn't
tone of
do anybody
supporting,
good. Anybody
you
good.
know, supporting Pritzker. It has nothing to do with that. It is news. So that's our job. That's what we do. We report. And I think that we do it. I said it the other day. I think we do it quite well. So it is bothersome when people come at us with things. Now, I will say,
It's called journalism, is what
right,
it's called.
yes. So
Thank you, Baba Booey.
thank
Hey.
you.
Our new feature.
on the
Call me
ran
back.
on the ran cam.
On the Ram Cam.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. But I think it was, as I said before, it's an amazing event. It's great for our community. That doesn't, the fact that we weren't there simply means we were on vacation. It's not that we don't support
We
Quincy.
took a holiday.
Yeah, it's not that we don't support the Freedom Fest or its organizers or its attendees because we love one and all, and we're very proud that you're bringing it to this community. I think it's hard work and it's necessary and it's awesome.
And when it comes to my anniversary with my darling wife,
A little more important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And since I took her to a ball game last year, I think she's making me go to the zoo and the aquarium next year in St. Louis.
As she should.
Cool.
So we're never in Quincy on the 4th. We
Yeah.
go somewhere.
Yeah, we aren't.
And it's
We aren't here very often.
What we do.
either.
It's our anniversary.
Yeah.
So, one other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, just before we began recording this, the Quincy Police Department sent a news release that they caught the person who allegedly started the
saw
Doyle
that.
fire.
I saw that. Meth may
woman.
have been involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like there might have been a
Allegedly.
little cooking in there,
Yeah.
allegedly, which is kind of what I said from the very get-go when I was standing
You
there
and
talking.
your meth.
Was I wrong?
No.
It does run a little
Are
rampant.
are you bringing this up because I also joked about a meth
Yes.
house going at 21st
Yes.
and Jefferson?
Yes.
Are you
I was
doing
like,
that?
bogus. In regards to the Hope House,
When they didn't let the pregnant lady show up, like, okay, some meth squatter will just buy it or go in there.
I'm like, how
instead.
awful. First of
no.
all, no.
No.
The meth squatter couldn't afford that house. Secondly,
squatter
you
maybe
don't
just goes in there.
you don't wish ill things on
I
people.
wish no ill will.
You did.
Go back to that and say ill will. No, there's
You
no
said,
ill will.
oh, now this is gonna go there or something like
I
that.
said, let's not hope. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah, haha. But
Hey, listen, my dog is not in
I
this
do
fight.
still like not to bring that back, but we do talk like we've talked about it in the studio a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and like everyone's like, how could you not want something so good? And like everyone, a lot of younger people are like, these people just don't want it next to them. And first of all, these younger people don't own properties. I feel like that are making this.
Yeah, you gotta have some skin in the game.
And then two, I don't know, it hit real home for me because, like I said, I was one of those pregnant women. I didn't go to a shelter or anything. I had my own house, and I felt super sorry for my neighbors because there were times when the sperm donor, baby daddy that's not involved,
Yeah.
it was an abusive relationship. So it's something that, like, say I was living next door to that Hope House and I saw, the baby daddies banging on the window or something like that. It's like, reliving that, and I don't know, it's not up to, if it's not zoned right, it's not zoned right, for one.
Yeah.
That house next to it has a beautiful backyard that children are obviously playing in. They did so much work with that, and I just would hate to see somebody like the scuzz bucket that I had to deal with, running up, and I'm not saying they're all scuzz buckets, but like, if the women have to be there in the first place, they're in there for somebody didn't help them.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't do their part.
And it's not a shame on them, and it's not a,
Never,
we're
no.
not like, painting them with a broad brush.
No, but there will be a place, I think, for this.
There needs to be. I
Yes.
think it's a resource that's necessary in Quincy, but also it's not, saying that doesn't mean that people can't also have the opinion that they don't want it by them. That's just, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and also, while the discussion was held at the Plan Commission meeting, and there were speakers at the City Council meeting, we, amongst ourselves here, have already talked about it more than the Quincy City Council did, who just basically shut the discussion down and moved on. And that was garbage, too.
Why?
Because there should have at least been a discussion on it.
Yeah.
No reason not to have a discussion on it. So, at least to talk about it a little more.
Yeah.
And anyway, so, but
I think it is a resource that's needed.
I think it
Yeah.
is needed, and I hope they do find a place soon. And if it's on Woodside Drive, I will support it. So,
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
So, to each their own. But let's get back to the meth thing I was earlier talking about, the Doyle
Let's circle
property.
back to the
Drugs.
meth
Yes.
situation
So,
that we have.
I was standing there next to Monty Doyle and all of his kids, and go back to 2012 when they had the first big fire there, which led to them. I'm not sure if they were preparing. I think they were maybe preparing to move to Missouri anyway. There was always talk about it, but they had this big fire in 2012. And when I had my other website, I was there and I was covering it, and I had this great picture of a firefighter in front of a burning building that I can't find anywhere, and it was like the best picture I ever took in my life. But I was there, but I was also there with Monty back then, and Monty Doyle, who now back then his dad Ron was running the show. Now Monty runs the show, and his kids all are great and help him out a ton. And we were standing there just talking about it, and he was talking about the property itself, and it was just basically liability coverage, because of course everybody gets on social media and is like, oh, did it for the money. No, well,
Yeah.
not if it's just liability coverage, and there's no property casualty. I mean,
Yeah.
so you're just so say the alleged meth cooker had tripped and fallen out of the door and cut her knee open or something.
It's on them.
The insurance would have kept, she could have sued for some ridiculous reason.
probably
or
didn't
something.
know
How
that.
if she's trespassing?
No.
It's like when a robber breaks into your
Yep.
home and you shoot him, you're getting
You're liable.
you're getting in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a
So,
whole lot of sense,
it's
but then
not.
again, a lot of laws don't.
But anyway, but it's standing there talking, and again, I've known Monty for a long time, and just having the conversation with him and talking about it, and everything his family has done to rebuild this business and move it over to Palmyra and all the great stuff they've done over there. And I hope that at this point now, I mean, it looks like after the fire, this place will all get cleaned up.
Yeah.
And again, and so that is some prime Broadway real estate that somebody could maybe do something with at some point.
I said immediately, sports complex.
Oh, there's room.
Yeah, there's room. Also, what a great location. Might be hell to get out of, as far as like the
A lot of people
navigating
said
Broadway.
hotel.
Okay, I think sports complex. It's right there by the restaurants and the things.
is.
It'd be a good spot.
But I don't know. Again, I just don't know if they have. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of room there. But
Yeah.
again, I don't know with because you got Fergie's there, and then like St. Dominic's is right behind it.
Yeah.
It's their property, and then you got the car lot right next to it.
Yeah.
And then
The important thing was because we saw the smoke, and
Oh, yeah.
my kiddos and I never chase things like fire trucks or ambulance because I just don't want to see it. But we saw the smoke, and my kids were like, "Oh my gosh, can we just go see where it is?" I have friends that live back there, so of course we're like running around. This is before I'm checking the scanners, before any news. It was right away, right? The black smoke started billowing.
She should have called if she wanted to know what was going on.
Well, I almost did, but I was driving. Okay, so here's the thing. We go over there, and immediately my heart is like sinking because all of the smoke, of course, it was a bad fire. So I'm like, all I can say is I'm just glad nobody got hurt, even the unfortunate meth addict who
I saw,
seemed to start it. Who, by the way, has great hair, so she missed her calling. So, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Well, it was.
There's
fun.
my silver lining on all of it.
I was doing once a week I go and after I interviewed Tony Grotens, which he'll be on Muddy River News this week, but once a week I randomly will go through the Adams County inmate list on the jail. And
I just
see
did
who's
that
there.
today.
Yeah.
That's how I found it out.
Well, I saw her. I was like, what's this going on? And then like 2 minutes later, I got the news, and we were just getting ready to record the show.
Yep.
So like, I want to get the show recorded first, and then after we got the show recorded for the morning show, then I got on and I posted the thing, and I saw her. I was like, yeah. And
I socialed it.
Yeah.
we did. So yeah, so it's obviously we've had this rash of fires, but this one it looks like okay. I don't know if she was going around something. I don't think she's going to get accused of all the other ones because they found her of this one. Who knows? But her court appearance should be interesting, and then we'll kind of see how QPD and Quincy Fire Department respond with more fires and such in the future, because we have just had a ton of them lately.
Yeah, and a lot of them, I will be honest, even in that's because I have a conspiracy theory brain. I'm like, sus.
Well, that one was from the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean,
and abandonment, abandoned properties and such, and I'm not saying it's the homeowner, but it seems like there's just been a large string of fires.
I think that was a big loss to that family, obviously. They made a great post.
Yeah.
I think we may or may not have shared it
We
with
did.
the family.
they sent me directly, and I put
standing
it out,
outside of it. And that is a great business that, it's a family business that runs through the family. Our next guest is
Segue.
into...
That was a good one.
Now you broke my segue.
That was good.
But
Sorry.
he is in his family business, and he leads it on. He is a good friend of mine. I grew up with him thinking he was my cousin the whole time.
Yeah?
It
Because you
took-
guys were all tight?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
pretty tight.
that's
And
good.
then I realized he didn't look like me, so
Nah, well.
found that out quick.
Insert redneck joke here.
Yeah.
My cousin.
Also, circling back to the Freedom Fest.
Yes.
He was also
He was there.
played a part
he
in that
performed.
too.
He
Yeah.
performs often in Quincy. Can't wait to talk to him,
Yeah.
Mr. Justin Haubrich.
But before we do that, I got to thank Tony Terwell for giving us some free samples of some of the John Daly Good Boy vodka strawberry lemonade. So
Good boy.
That was very nice of him to try that, and it's tasty, so I'll recommend it as well.
Can't
So
tell. It's almost gone.
It is, right. So we'll be back.
Get ready for a rowdy night of country music on the Quincy Riverfront July 18th at the Gym City Concert Series at Lincoln Park, featuring Gavin Adcock,
Since you don't know how to act, run your mouth, don't look back.
Graham Barham,
I'm counting on you, whiskey.
and DJ Cliffy D. Get your tickets now at JimCityConcerts.com. The Gym City Concert Series with Gavin Adcock, July 18th, presented by On the Rail Sports Bar and Grill, Peachtree Entertainment, and Coyote Country 99.5 WCOY.
What have you been missing on Muddy River Gems? You won't believe your eyes. My crew and I have been bringing you stories for more than 20 years on PBS and now Muddy River News. And we're just getting started.
Welcome to Muddy River News, Mr. Justin Haubrich. How are you?
Hello, I'm very well. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Club Muddy.
Club Muddy.
What'd I say?
Muddy River News. This is where we shotgun. I'm just kidding, but Justin's probably going to
There
shotgun.
are
us.
two.
Studios.
You said you
Muddy
were.
River News Studios, I guess I should have said. Let's start over.
No, that's perfect because it's the club.
No starting over.
It's the club. This is where we distinguish.
Oh, it is the club.
We're
Okay.
clubbing.
We're
Yeah.
clubbing.
Yeah,
we're in the
Oh my
club.
gosh. All right. So, welcome. Wherever the hell we are and whatever we're doing, right? Drink your Stag. All right. So, Quincy boy, drinker of Stag,
Yes.
musician, family man, Catholic.
Yes.
Am I getting? I'm
You
doing
are.
good?
Yeah, you're batting
Doing
a you're
good?
batting a thousand.
Millennial
Yes.
and gregarious.
Good word. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Gregarious.
Is that jovial? I just used jovial
That's what.
today.
Yes, it is.
For the first time, I think, in my life.
It is.
And I was proud that I think I used it correctly.
You did.
All
That's
right.
the same.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
How the heck are you?
I am doing very well.
Good. All right, so we were talking about stuff outside, and Britt here knows
I know him
a lot about
quite
you.
a bit. We kind of grew apart though in adult years. I feel like
Tends to
because
happen. Yeah, people
busyness.
move away and come back and reconnect eventually. But that's the first time I've ever heard that you thought we were cousins.
Oh, I told
So you didn't think you were cousins?
I don't think
I have told you this 3 times, but you might have been a couple stags in.
that's all right. Ask my wife. She'll tell you that it doesn't matter how many times you tell me something. If I don't wish to and take it in,
Yeah.
I just won't.
It ain't happening.
Yeah,
I get that.
his dad and my dad are best friends, and I kind of always thought Tim Haubrich, his father, was my uncle. So I don't know. We went to things together, and we were always running around together. And Tim and Christy had 3 kids about the same age range that my parents had.
Yeah.
So it's Justin, his brother Aaron, who works for Haubrich Enterprises, and his brother Zach, who we are going to talk about here in a little bit, getting ready to do a huge memorial show at the
Yes.
dock this Saturday.
Rocking the dock, baby. Mark
Very
your
excited.
calendars.
Very excited.
Yeah. Before we get to that, though, so let's talk a little bit about, Quincy. So born and raised. Did you ever leave?
Yeah, I went away to college for 5 years, dropped out after 5 years. Lived in Edwardsville, Glen Carbon, and Collinsville in that amount of time. Didn't really have a super clear idea of the path I wanted to take, and I think that's, I think there's a lot of people in the millennial generation that can kind of, relate to that. Just felt like I was spinning my wheels, and one day I got a call from my dad about July or August of 2011, and he said I had to let a pressman go. There's an opening, here at the print shop. Do you want to come home? And I was like, thank you, God.
Yes.
This is my chance to, get back and kind of reset. I was working overnights. School had taken kind of a back seat, which I wasn't a great, candidate for college anyway. I just did the typical millennial pipeline, and I don't think it's nobody's fault. I think that the generations before us were just using their best experience and their best knowledge to say, well, this is the best way to get a springboard into your future to get ahead. And I think our generation kind of took that notion and ran with it. But I think the adverse effect of that was you oversaturated people that were in colleges.
Yeah.
So it really
100%.
it cheapened the weight of a degree. So I dropped out after 5 years and moved back around August of 2011 and started working at Pam Printers with my dad and grandpa.
Pam printers.
Can you talk about Pam Printers real quick?
A little bit, yeah. So depending on who you ask, between dad, my uncle, my grandpa, we believe we started around 1936 or 39 in St. Louis, and very soon after that migrated north, and that's where it's kind of flourished and grown from there. Primarily, excuse me.
It's all right.
Stags are coming
it
up.
happens here at the club. Yeah.
Primarily, we do have an emphasis on Catholic publication. We do have a missalette, which is the paperback follow-along church book in the pews of the churches called Pray Together. We also print church bulletins, and we print church bulletins all over the Midwest and a good number in the South. And then we do send Pray Together, the missalette, that goes national, and then there are some accounts that we have that are actually overseas as well.
I had no idea that pamphlet was national.
Yes.
So, like, how long has it been national?
As long as I can remember.
So
for as long as, before I was even around, I know that the heyday for Pray Together was probably in the 70s, middle to late 70s. And back then, it was a monthly publication. So we had 3 shifts we ran 24 hours a day. We had, first, second, and third, just like any other production, company here in Quincy that, is constantly producing. Back then, it was a monthly publication with circulation of about 630 or 670,000 every month.
So, real quick, Pray Together is those pamphlets that you see in the front of the
That's the bulletin.
booklet.
That's the bulletin. It's the little paper.
Yeah, that's it weekly. But the booklet that's in front,
Right.
that cover.
It looks just like a paperback novel, pretty
and
much.
that cover, was that done by your dad, or who designed the cover?
So
How was
Dad,
that?
Tim, our fearless leader, El Capitan, he is our art director, and he's in charge of deciding what cover we want to use for each issue. We issue 4 times a year, and he likes to stay in the more traditional vein of Catholic artwork, so he's using paintings from the Renaissance, and a lot of the painting depictions that you see on the books, those are actual pictures of the original work that he took himself in Florence and in Rome. And
My
then
mind
he's
is blown right now. I had no idea.
He's an incredibly gifted man. I owe so much of who I am.
An artist.
Oh my goodness, yes, absolutely. 70s art school, it came in use for something. But a few of the covers over the years are actual original works of his. He's also a painter. He's a very talented, established artist in his own right of creating art and not just capturing, good photography, but, some of the covers that we do use are his original works.
That's
incredible.
amazing.
And there's one that we did use about a year ago where it was a depiction of the Holy Family, so it's Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, and the baby Jesus on that cover was actually taken off of a picture. Dad used Zach as the model for that. So
Very cool.
Super cool. Very proud. Fifth generation for me.
5th generation Pam printers. What is your role in Pam printers right now? I hear you travel a lot.
I do travel, not as much as I had. And a lot of the travel I do is for our church bulletins. So the bulletin is just like the newsletter for the church. The goings on, if there's luncheons or funeral dinners or whatever's going on. We send those, like I said, all over the Midwest and a lot down south. And part of my job is to solicit advertising. So you look on the back of a church bulletin, you see all the advertisers. That helps those churches cover the cost of their bulletin printing, but it also helps offset, if they use Pray Together, the missalette, that advertising offsets and underwrites the cost of the bulletin and the booklet.
Oh, okay.
So that's my main focus is trying to find new bulletin customers, managing current bulletin customers, and working with our parishes to, procure good advertising lead lists that I get to be a telemarketer on.
Very cool. So family business, and then you have a tie-in with the church. So not only are you connected to the church through Pam Printers and your business, but you're also heavily engaged and involved in the Catholic community. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am a practicing Catholic with my wife Michelle and our 4 boys. The
4 boys.
The 4 boys
Let's talk
are
about them.
Yeah.
Elijah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Israel.
Well, how
so,
appropriate. Yes.
So no, they're.
We'll get a picture up here for you to see his beautiful family. You seriously have the cutest.
Michelle does
family.
really good work. But no, Michelle and I both are actually also involved in our local Catholic community. We volunteer our time for like the local tech program, which is Teens Encounter Christ. That is for kids ages, I think it's 16 to 20 is the age range, and it's a weekend where anybody who wants to experience a closer walk with Christ, it's an opportunity for them to come in, learn more about the Scripture, learn more about the person of Jesus, and also just a way to kind of not sequester away from the rest of the world, but understand that you're definitely within your right to take time for yourself and recenter. To really kind of come into your own understanding and not feel like you have to be pushed and pulled and affected by your environment so much that you are still, you're still loved by God. So we are very, very heavily involved with tech. We recently did our first Quest weekend, or that's 24 hours. That's the younger version of tech.
Okay.
And then we've handed out bulletins at church, so I've got all 4 boys trying to like throw bulletins at people. And
awesome.
Eli, our oldest, is he serves mass now, and
How old is he?
he turned 10 in May.
So 4 boys under the age of 10.
Yes.
2 of which are twins, right?
Yes. The second half are twins. So every we did it the good old Catholic way. We didn't plan a single one. And somehow we hit on some kind of cycle because it was our pregnancies are all 2.5 years apart. I can't say all the kids are 2.5 years apart because it's 2.5 years, 28 minutes.
Yeah, right? Yes. That's awesome. So church has, of course, played a huge role in your life, in your family's life, continues to. And within that church, you also highlight another one of your awesome abilities, which is music.
Do you play in the church? I was prefacing that with her before.
I have played 3 or 4 years ago. I did play for the Christmas vigil, so the late mass before Christmas. And then not so much like on a weekly basis. I'm usually there trying to wrangle the boys down.
Sure. Yeah.
But no, I have been asked to be part, like what I was talking about with tech. I have been the musician on tech.
Nice.
So yeah, and I'm sure as the years go on and the needs arise, I'll be willing and happy to fill in on those instances where they're looking for it. Right now, the music ministry for our parishes and for tech is just so rock solid that they wouldn't even really have a place for me. We've got people like Jared Haubrich who are going in there and just killing it, you know, and I can't, if he's take it away, dude.
Right, have at it.
I'm not competing with that. But.
Speaking of wrangling your kids in, you're talking about during Mass. I hear from some great Mass goers like the great Bob Goff and my family that you're always there sitting usually alongside your family. Your dad and Christy are helping you wrangle them in.
Sure.
It's a big part about Catholic tradition is you bring your kids up in the church. Another big thing is you go to church on Sundays.
Yeah.
You're a millennial.
Yes.
Which most millennials are kind of straying away from, I don't want to say...
Organized religion.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
But like as Catholics, they become convenient Catholics.
Yes. No,
and not just millennials. I don't want to peg just millennials because I know a couple convenient Catholics myself. But how do you just keep going? Like, what are your thoughts on skipping church on a Sunday? What are your thoughts on?
I'm dealing with my eternal salvation, so I'm not going to take that lightly.
You're not taking vacations.
And I would be remiss to say, I did kind of have that. I did sort of, I didn't fall away from the faith in that I didn't believe in God or I didn't believe that Jesus gave His life for the sake of my sins and to purify my soul. I know He did that, and that's always been part of my belief system. But I did fall into the vein of, especially the cohort of our millennial generation that did, maybe not see the value in going every week. There was probably almost the entire time I was away at college. I might have gone to Mass. What you call the convenient Catholics, we call the CNEs. The Christmas and Easter.
I was a CNE.
Uncle Roy, I think, termed that coin. He also,
I wouldn't be surprised.
He also called them, instead of convenient Catholic, because I just heard that the other day, and I love that coin term, but the cafeteria Catholic, the one that picks and chooses.
Yep.
So where was it in your life where you're like you said, you never went astray, but where was it where it hit you where you're like, I'm never going to go astray. Like, this is important to me. This is what is going to drive my existence. This is you're routing for your eternal salvation.
I am fighting for the salvation of my eternal soul.
So when did you decide that? Like, how old were you?
It definitely, everybody's been on a personal journey. Everybody has had the ups and the downs, and everybody's been kicked in the teeth. Probably the strongest, there's been 2 big instances. One was I lost a dear friend of mine. And, when you come to that point where your life throws you something, you hit a T intersection. And you can go metaphorically left or you could go metaphorically right. And that time, I decided to take the wrong turn, whichever direction that was. Fell into a pretty deep depression, drank most of my calories, and realized that, it only made things worse. It only amplified that sense of hurt and that sense of that sense of, dread almost, that, it's,
Feeling
the
lost.
black hole of
Yeah.
nothingness.
Yeah.
And then I met this really cool girl that
I hope it's Michelle.
kind of took the, the cartoon spatula and like popped me up off the ground.
Nice.
And it wasn't until later on, and it was Michelle, my now wife.
Someday is illustrate that spatula and make you an egg.
Yeah, I think about that. Yeah.
No, she was somehow able to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And so seeing how self-giving, somebody could be, and we were friends before we dated. But at this juncture, we became more than friends. So when we first started dating, it was more than just like, oh, I think you're cute, cute, we should date. It was, you are the safe port in this storm. You're the only thing that I feel safe with. And it wasn't until later on, until our relationship progressed, that I found out that at the time that she was doing this selfless act of love for me, that she was also going through probably one of the worst times in her life. So she was setting aside herself to the benefit, honestly. It's one thing, this is a point I want to make. Anything that I do with my family business, with my music, with my family, it is only because I have people that have propped me up and that have, helped me stand on my own. Does it take effort? It certainly does. But if it weren't for these beautiful souls in my life, I would not have anything. And
Which
in this,
I don't want to interrupt you, but you have many of them.
I'm over here tearing up.
This
is so beautiful.
Like
There are
setting this
tons.
up, he goes, I don't want this to be a dud. I go, Justin Haubrich, you have one of the biggest
I think we're
family
good.
and friends. Just them seeing this knows that this can't be a dud.
No, I think we're good.
Go on, I'm sorry
and
for
so
interrupting.
that's all right. And so it was, she took the big cartoon spatula and popped me off the ground. Pretty much said I wasn't eating, and in a span of probably a month or so, right after my friend had passed, I might have had 2 Slim Jims. Everything else was, booze.
Yeah.
And I do think that there's a healthy way to enjoy alcohol, and I think there's an unhealthy way to enjoy it. And I was enjoying it. I was using it as a crutch in a very self-deleterious manner. And it wasn't until later, like I said, to come to find out that she was actually going through some of the most tumultuous times in her life, the darkest, deepest pits of her despair. And in doing, what she did for me, after finding that out, and after I was kind of back on my feet a bit, she got to be the one that kind of, leaned in on me. So our relationship has always been founded on that idea that we're like these ladder rungs, that we help each other walk upwards. So it's always been, it's the coolest story that I can think of. And then as far as
It's freaking beautiful.
and then as far as
I'm
getting
like-
back into like making that decision to make my faith such a big part of my life, that's when December of 2015, my youngest brother Zach Haubrich, who was the bassist in our band, Aaron, Zach, and I, we were always so close growing up. He died in a car accident coming back from Bradley University for Christmas break. And when that happened, with my friend in the past, I saw where that one turn went. Yeah. Now, after Zach's accident, Eli was 6 months old, and I had that decision again.
Yeah.
I know what's down this road. And I saw with selfless love and giving, what that can do for my wife, Michelle. And so I decided to go the other way. And I know that everybody's personal opinions and beliefs, everybody's entitled to them and they all have them. But I cannot stress enough that making the decision with my wife to live and base ourselves on our faith and how we raise our family, how we raise our boys, how we interact with people, how we express our love to people, it has absolutely changed my life.
Yeah.
And there's no way to ever do that. There's no way that I could ever put it into words and try to convince somebody. I don't want to convince anybody of anything. I want them to be convinced of their own. And the best way to do that is not to take a stick and beat somebody over the head with it. It's to just live the example. Yeah. So that's really how I find myself still being. I don't, and I tell we tell the boys this all the time. We don't have to go to church. We get to go to church. So, you know, and they've taken it seriously. Eli loves serving, you know, and yeah, mom and dad, I like to say they're helping wrangle the boys. They are well behaved. I mean, they sit there and they listen. And when the twins were really little, they were like 2, and we would go up to communion, and, you know, they can cross their arms and get the blessing. As soon as the priest or whoever was administering Holy Communion, as soon as that they would do the little sign of the cross or give them the blessing, it was braces on.
Yeah.
So
you're out.
I remember there was a few
first.
times I did a couple entire laps around St. Peter's, you know, trying to get back here. So like doing the power walk, because you can't run. It's frowned upon to run in church. So
A speed walk in
but
Justin.
no,
just
that's
cruising
kind
through
of
there.
that's sort of
You did good by your boys. I saw you also at the scoreboard. It was a while ago, but they were so little, and he even joked about wrangling them. I'm like, you don't even have to, because they were sitting there, and they go, may I please have?
Aw.
And I'm like, wow.
You know, though, that so you talked about, you know, kind of living by example. I would say that that's what you're doing for your boys, and that's probably why they enjoy going.
well,
and
and that goes back to
yeah.
the notion of what you said about, you know, and I can't speak to other denominations, but as far as like, you know, the Catholic upbringing, Tim and Christy, no matter what, Sunday.
Yeah.
Every weekend we were at church with the greatest priest that I think has ever graced the face of God's earth, which would be Father Bauer, Brittany's uncle.
Uncle
correct?
Roy. But we weren't
Uncle
related.
Roy. Nope,
You
not
should've been-
related.
You see, you should have just captured that, and then you would have had the greatest.
Yeah.
I didn't. I admire like it's retrospect, because we were brought up kind of the same way, and like I admire that feeling of safety that you have. Like I don't know. I know that like you will tell me I can always go back and stuff like that, but I feel like I am a little jealous of your faith, because like my mind won't let me necessarily adapt to faith.
Do you think that there aren't moments where I wrestle with
Oh, I
attendance?
know, because
yeah,
you're one of the
it's-
most logical. you are seriously one of the most intelligent people I know. Coming on here, you just spoke with eloquence, and some of the things that people don't know about you is also your writing. Your writing is astronomical.
imagine.
I've just seen him just even write in just comment forms in Facebook, and it's like, man, I hope you are actually writing on the side. Are you doing that at all?
No,
You need
nothing.
to. This
no.
is something that, like, I feel like, I know you're an artist yourself, but I think you're an artist in words, and you're definitely an artist in words when it comes to expressing, you know, the importance of religion, faith. Put this stuff that you just said on here into words, I think. Write a book. You'd be amazing at it. I know, like, that's easier said
When
than
you
done.
have time.
Well,
yeah.
I have the facility to do so.
There
You know,
you go.
we do have a little book binder, so if I just
you could just
put
bind
something
it up.
together, I could just run off 12 or 15. And
There you go.
Let's talk a little about live music.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
So, okay, I do want to say I'm sitting here quiet because I'm
Try not to cry.
well, yeah, that, but I'm quite frankly in awe. I mean, we have a lot of really good guests, but coming on, I didn't know you. You know, I knew you just in passing because we're both Quincians and we see each other, and you know, we frequent the same places, but not knowing that you are so eloquent and steadfast in your faith, and I'm learning a whole lot about you. It's all very, very cool.
No.
So if I'm sitting here quiet with like my mouth open and tears in my eyes, sorry.
No, that's.
But it is what it is. Okay.
I did good.
Yeah, and I want to. So earlier when I was talking about the Catholic Church and music, of course it was my lame attempt at segueing to music. I'm so glad that we backed up because I think that
My bad.
I think that this was everything that you said needed to be said, and I almost rushed us through that. So nice work on backing it up.
I do appreciate the opportunity for Muddy River and you guys for having me on. So.
Absolutely.
Thank
All
you,
right.
for sure.
So let's get into music because this is how I think I met you. It's how I met your parents. It's how I've met a lot of people who are associated with you, right?
Yep.
Kelly's Live Music.
Uh-huh.
Before we get into music, can we talk just for a second about the smoke show that is your mother?
Oh my God.
Okay. I just have to say because
What's it like having a
having a hot mom?
She is so hot. I'm like, holy smokes, girl.
Woo!
Like, she's got it. I just wanted to say that.
You have no amount. And the funny thing
mom
was,
has
got it going on.
Justin's mom.
No,
I
you
just
have
had to
no
say that
idea
'cause
how
she
much.
is.
And I was actually very introverted as a young kid. I was kind of antisocial, and to this day, I still have 2 or 3 of the greatest lifelong friends that a guy could ask for, and they know who they are. But it wasn't until I actually got into the bar scene, playing gigs, that sort of broke me out of my shell and got me used to being a jackass in front of strangers.
Right.
So that helps get you out of the shell a bit. But it was funny growing up where I was kind of introverted, and I got so much flack, from like the popular kids. I was a band nerd, all through and through, and proud to be so. But would just get so
What did you
much
play,
crap.
real quick?
Huh?
What did you play in band?
I played saxophone. Saxophone's my first instrument.
Awesome. That's kind of weird.
Excuse me.
That's also like weird first instrument, I think, kind of.
It was a cool one. But no, some of the teasing, and I remember there was one instance at 24th and State. I was probably 5th or 6th grade. My mom's out pumping gas at the gas station, and a school bus is they're heading west, and they're turning left to go south on 24th Street. And some kid leans his head out the window and yells at my mom, "Hey, lady, bend over again."
No. See? Listen.
And I had to pretend like I didn't know what he was talking about.
Right? I can't blame him. But
So
I can
mom
imagine
and dad are the probably the two strongest supporters. They go to every single show.
Yes.
Mom's out there screaming her ass
She
off.
is. And she's such a badass too. So I don't just want to it's not just the looks, girlfriend. Like you got it all, okay?
No,
got-
Tim
she's got the
freaking
spice
lucked out.
and-
I don't know how he did it.
And Tim, listen, you're not
we've
too
got
hard to
we've
look
got
at
the same
either.
we've got the same thing to work with.
Yeah.
So I don't know if our wives are blind or what, but
Poor Uncle Shithead.
Oh, nice.
yeah, your dad's shithead, and then dad calls
Hold on.
your grandpa Mr. Shithead.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Randy.
Rand Cam.
Do you know about your dad's kiss connection?
Yes, I do.
I'm the guy that did the pyro.
Yes, he told me. We were in
Okay.
here. We did the interview with Ron some months ago, and he was like, "Randy, I haven't seen you in forever."
Yeah.
What a small world.
You ran the pyro for it,
I did-
didn't you?
I did all the
So I don't
pyro.
know, is the Ram Cam still on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, so what he's referring to is when my dad and 2 or 3 of his buddies put on a mock kids concert in high school to raise money for the prom or something,
I don't know what- I
or
don't
just
know
for
what
just
it's
for the
We
hell of
just-
it.
we just lit off a bunch of fireworks inside
So yeah,
Q&B's
the guys,
in
the
pit.
talent, the guys got. Dad was Gene Simmons, so he was the demon guy, and then they had, I think Jeff Van Camp was Paul Stanley,
Yes.
and was it Mike?
Mike Howerton.
Mike Howerton was
Ace
Ace
Frehley.
Frehley.
Cool.
Yes, and then Dad's like, Randy had 30-foot wall of flame up there, and he showed me old Polaroids of people took of that, and there was so much electricity and fire on stage that you could actually see like the blue tendrils of electricity in the film.
We almost killed a couple nuns that
Oh
night.
my God.
What a small, awesome world.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe rock and roll's just been in the blood for a long time.
That's awesome. So, okay, we've covered the hotness that is your mom, the amazingness that is your family, your steadfast faith, your hummings up, right? But now we're talking music, and you're involved in music in a lot of aspects in your life. But I was asking you earlier how many bands you're currently in.
2.
But that pales in comparison to what you've experienced in the past, right?
The overall, Quincy bands, I've been in at least 5, and I think at the heaviest time requirement, I think was like 3 full-time bands at once.
At one time.
At one time.
Yikes.
Okay.
But that really pales in comparison to some of the Quincy players that are out there that are just world-class players. Josh Bruick, who plays with everybody, he's an amazing bass player.
Yeah.
I was just talking to him yesterday. He just had to cut one out, so now he's down to like 3 or something like that. So.
Yeah, you gotta, you can't stretch yourself too thin where you're disappointing or holding
Right.
your
Well, and the
band
cool
back.
thing is,
work.
when you get into, if you're involved in a few different projects at once, chances are you're not doing 2 bands that are in the same vein, right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, right now, The Gentleman with Jared Holbrook, Josh Lawless, Aaron, my brother,
Fantastic.
and myself. We run the gamut of rock, everything from the 60s, in the 70s and Zeppelin, and then we do some contemporary, fun hard rock stuff. So that's like really high energy, like kind of hard driving rock stuff. And then the Silver Bullets, which I run around with my brother Aaron as well, and then also Rick Parrish, who has Parrish Jewelers at 18th and Cooks. He's a childhood friend of Tim's, and he's the best banjo player in 100 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, 200 miles,
Yeah.
1,000 miles.
Yeah.
He's just amazing. And that's more of a lot of bluegrass, a lot of 90s kind of country, some old country standards.
And you play a little harmonica in that,
He
right?
does, I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one time where you were there, that's the first time I've picked up a harmonica.
So they performed, R. Kelly's commercial for Muddy River News, they performed an original, and
Yes.
it was recorded in my husband's studios. And I know you played a little harmonica. I was just like blown away. I was watching the whole thing, trying to get video too.
Sure.
It was pretty cool. Some professionals. For
Yeah.
real.
We
And
have a
so
good time.
live every Wednesday.
Every
every
other
other Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Sorry.
yep.
7 to 10, Kelly's
Mm-hmm.
on the patio.
So, okay, so this airs tomorrow on Friday. Next week, are you
Yes,
on or are you off?
we were not there yesterday, so we will be there.
So next week, Wednesday.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Get on that
whatever
patio.
calendar,
It's
whatever. I think it's like the 16th.
Yeah.
Something like that.
beautiful
Yeah.
patio. And
Always
like
a
they
good time.
Yep. And then
gather in the
also
parking lot, and like it's literally like a party.
shout
huge
out, shout out especially to not only Rod, Robin, and Kelly, who you know just run the tightest ship of any place in Quincy as
Oh, I
far as
know.
fine dining and also entertainment,
Yes,
but
sir.
also to my uncle Tony and Haubrich Enterprises. Tony
Yes.
gets out there at like 3:00 in the afternoon, and
To
he
set
sets
up.
up all the
Sets it up.
tents and the outside bar.
And he's always got
and
something
Debbie,
special.
oh yeah, so yeah, Tony and Debbie, they bust ass
Yay,
to get
Debbie.
the outside.
Love Debbie.
Love Debbie.
Debbie.
Every time I see her at the I was like, Debbie, and she says, what? So yeah, every other Wednesday, and we'll be there next week.
And it
Perfect.
is a huge party. So you look at the patio and you're like, how do they
How am I
throw a
gonna
party?
fit in there?
But people dance, people sing. They do gravitate out towards the parking lot. They have coolers set up. I mean, the
You can buy
servers-
drinks right there.
The servers there are phenomenal, but the music is, I think everybody likes a little live music. And to be able to go enjoy it outside at such a nice place with everybody who's just like there to serve you, right? It's
Totally.
really, really cool.
Totally. We want everybody to come out. And that's really the focus of it is you're halfway through the work week.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate, getting halfway there. We
Hump
can
day.
every hump day, and it's downhill from here.
Yep.
So it's just a great way to break up the work week. Knock on wood, we get rained out very, very unoften. Whatever.
seldomly.
Yeah, it's
infrequently.
very
Yes,
rarely.
I knew there was a word
There's
for
words.
that.
It's
But we
usually
got
towards
it.
the beginning, but I think you're on like Donkey Kong from here out. I just feel it in my
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah.
Other live, and like, real quick, like you said, the appreciation of live music. We could get into that totally some other time, but the lack thereof is, I feel like, just due to all kinds of licensings and hoops to go through. And so we appreciate, when we do get the live music because government's making it so we can't,
Right. Yeah.
But this Saturday at the dock, a different kind of live music. The gentleman, I'll let you explain
Yes.
and
Yeah.
what this is all for.
Yes. So this Saturday, July 12th, is the Zach Haubrich Memorial Show down at the dock, 1021 Bonansinga Drive. And it will feature the Silver Bullets kicking off the set. It will have the Gentlemen being at the end. And then we are also very pleased. We will be debuting a brand new band to Quincy called Magdalene. This is a three-piece band. It is Josh Lawless, who's the bassist in The Gentlemen, and he's doing some wizardry with some pedals and amps where he's playing bass and guitar at the same time.
Cool.
So Josh is providing the the chords and the guitar playing. Veteran Quincy drummer Danny Maybe is
love Danny.
Yeah, he's bringing the thunder. He will be
Congratulations, that guy.
yeah. So
He's the best.
Danny's getting back on the throne, and
Any
he's
kind of drummer brings the thunder, right?
Oh
well,
my-
a good one does.
Danny
He's great.
especially. He's
Yeah,
like
he's amazing.
just smacks him.
Yeah.
And then also this will be the debut of Allison McElroy,
Okay.
who is an incredibly talented singer. I don't want to give anything away, but you are going to enjoy it. You want to be there and see what this band's going to do. It's their first show, so we'd love to have a great showing for them. So it'll be Silver Bullets, Magdalene, and The Gentlemen. And all of the proceeds do go to the Zachary Haubrich Endowment Fund at Notre Dame. It's a $10 door cover charge at the door. All the proceeds go to that. All of the music, the talent, the sound and the lights. We have Vegas Music running sound. Young Brothers Lighting will be there. They're so generous in donating their time so that any of the proceeds that we get it goes to Zach's scholarship.
Oh, amazing.
And then we're able to turn around and award, a student every year
That's
with
awesome.
this scholarship. So
That's
it's
so
you
cool.
got to stop like tearing up
I
because
know, I'm over here like,
you're gonna
oh
make
my
me
God.
start tearing
Yes,
up.
yeah.
But no, it's the smallest way that we could honor such an incredible young man who was Zach. This 7/12 on Saturday would have actually been his 31st birthday.
Wow.
So it is
Don't make
on
me cry.
his actual birthday.
He was
Alright.
like baby Zach when,
Oh, yeah.
like it was
Guess how?
just,
I think I told you this. Do you remember how old I said he was when the gentleman first started playing in the bars?
okay, hold on. I know it was definitely not a legal age.
Aaron wasn't even legally.
I know. Was Zach like 11?
14.
Okay, never mind.
He was
So,
14,
not-
about 15.
14 years old,
He might have
rocking
just turned
drums
15.
in bars.
Oh yeah. So and he was a 40-year player,
Yeah.
right off the bat. So he was just a natural talent. I always like to tell people that Zach was he was the distillation of everything good from me and everything good from Aaron, and all the bad stuff trickled out, and then he was the morph of like the
good?
the greatest
Really?
aspects of both of us. And he was going to be the one that got out. Aaron and I, we
Out
ended
of
up
Quincy?
at the family businesses. Aaron's over at Haubrich Enterprises, slinging beer with Tony. I'm at Pan Printers with Dad, doing the printing thing.
But
Zach was
he-
destined for LA or Nashville. He hadn't decided yet. And this is one thing that speaks to his character. I love telling this story. Anytime that he would come to town, visiting from school, Michelle and I, when Eli was a little baby, we were living in Grandma and Grandpa's basement. Grandpa had Alzheimer's, so we kind of were sort of live-in caregivers. So Zach would always stop at our place when he got into town and then go do his thing for the weekend, and he always stopped before he hit the road to go back. So the last time I ever spoke to him in person, we were down in Grandma and Grandpa's basement, playing ping pong, not like vigorously, because I would have whooped his ass, but just hitting the ball back and forth. And we were talking. I was like, "So your last semester, what's
up?"
next on the horizon?" And he said, "Well, I have some people in Nashville, and I have some contacts that I made in LA because with his major at Bradley, he traveled and he went and saw what the opportunities were." And I'll never forget this. He said, "But I don't know what to do because what if I'm somewhere else and you guys need me back here?" And I said, "Dude, we will be fine. We will take it. We've got this on lock, man. You do not have to worry about." But that was the thing that was on his mind. After all this work, he did all the extracurriculars. He was in every single ensemble and band that Bradley offered. He was a tutor. He was a teacher. He was a leader. And his first concern was not being too far away from us. And I said, "We're going to be fine." And I told him, and I like to think, this is one little part of pride that I hold on to. I think it made him feel better when I told him, as long as you can get in your car and drive back to Quincy, I don't care if you're in Anchorage, Alaska or Miami, Florida, as long as you can get in your car and drive on a road and end up in Quincy, you're never too far from home.
Yeah.
And that set him, I think that made him feel a little better. So
Yeah.
that was the last in-person interaction that he and I had.
Justin.
You said that, you thought he was the one, two things on that. You said he thought he was the one that was going to go away or do the thing.
Make it big.
Get
Make
out.
it big.
Yeah.
Well,
He made it big.
He made it big. He
made it
got
really big.
the eternal salvation like you live for. And then two, back to the family business thing when you're like, we didn't make it out. You made it in.
I think,
You made
it took
it
me.
in.
It took
Both
me a long.
of you.
Warriors,
It
Both
took
of
me.
you.
It took me a long time to kind of come to that understanding because even as a kid, I was like, I don't know if I want to,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
and that. But now looking
Be
back, and
sucked in the bubble.
and like I said earlier, anything that I've ever done, anything that I have achieved, it takes effort on my part, but it's because somebody was there that built the mound for me, and I could not be more grateful for the opportunity to work with my dad, and previously with my grandpa before he passed away, and it's you don't know these things until you grow up and live a little bit.
Yeah.
So no, I agree with you. I have, and I'm glad to be in Quincy. I
know
love
you
Quincy.
are.
If
I know
somebody
you are.
has a problem with Quincy, you would have a problem anywhere.
Yeah.
You will find something to bitch about anywhere
I
that
love
you
that.
go.
Yes, absolutely.
And, you
That's
know,
like your go-to most of the time. I think
it's
like,
definitely
yo, bro.
it's a mindset thing. It's like
Yes.
do you want to look for the things that make it more difficult for you, or do you want to look for the things that make it better and easier?
absolutely.
So yeah, no, I feel super blessed to have this to be the 5th generation of a family business. I mean, not a lot of people can say that. So I'm proud and thankful for it.
Yeah, I think you're right where you need to be, and I'm very, very happy that you agreed to join us.
I feel blessed.
Yeah, it's been very, very eye-opening. Still trying to hold back tears. You have a way with words that just really gets to you, right? So, congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you.
Everybody join us at the Dock
Yes,
this Saturday.
the Dock. Let's go celebrate Zach, his impact.
And live music.
Yes.
And live music.
Live music.
Again, what time does that start again?
Music runs from 7 to 11. Bullets, Magdalene, gentlemen. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss a lick of it. And please come out and help support the new band Magdalene. I think people are honestly going to be blown away. You've not heard anything like this.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And you can be the first. You can say, "I was one of the first to see them."
I was
that
there.
That would be really cool.
I was there, man.
Yes, that would be. Yeah. So be there. The dock that rocks the river,
Yeah.
right? The
Yes.
river, whatever
Thanks
the
for
thing is.
being a light that would never, ever be locally hated.
Yeah, right? No doubt. I do have one question that I want to end it
Go
on.
ahead.
Okay, so if you could open for any band, and this could be
this
just
is
you
good.
or your band, any of them,
Living or Dead?
yes,
Led Zeppelin.
almost guessed that.
Yep.
I stalked your Facebook a little.
Led
How
Zeppelin is.
was the Led Zeppelin cover band at Freedom Fest?
I wasn't there.
Oh, dang.
No, we didn't.
I've heard
we had
nothing but great
We
things
had the
about
twins. So the twins' birthday is July 1st. So we
Dang,
that
you
was,
having those twins on July 1st, you should be down there.
Yeah, and Michelle still gives me shit for it because it's like you had 2 babies and I still couldn't get a girl. It's like I don't know, I can't tell you. But their
It's you
birthday
that's
was the
broken,
Tuesday
though.
before, so that Saturday we were at my in-laws having a pool party.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see Kashmir, I think was the name.
Yeah.
I heard that they did awesome. Travis, who helped me coordinate with Freedom Fest, he sent me a clip of their guitar player just shredding it like out in the crowd.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Very cool.
and just to kind of put one little hat on the Freedom Fest thing, it is a collection of people that offer their time to make it to where everybody who is proud to be in this nation is totally welcome and equally represented as an American.
And thank you for saving Quincy's fireworks.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
That's right. Hey, Justin, it's been a pleasure. Come back anytime. I can sit
Cheers.
and listen to your stories all day long. And until then, good luck and Godspeed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you need another
Cheers.
stag?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Actually,
All right.
we didn't shotgun them.
Never, never.
Not on that one.